Hey guys, I just got the Firman Tri-Fuel Generator delivered. Actually was delivered like a week ago, but I haven't had time this week to actually get into it and break it out. So I'm going to do an unboxing, an assembly, as well as a first startup. I'm going to actually put a load on it too. I'm going to use my joiner actually. It's 220, so I'm going to test 220 on it. I'm using this to run my whole house. I'm actually going to do a video where we install the sub panel, the disconnect, run the gas line. We're going to build a shed. We're going to plug everything in. But I wanted to start this video with just the unboxing as well as assembly in the first run for this generator. So I'm excited. It's a Saturday. I don't have all my kids here, so I'm going to actually be able to work a little bit. So I'm really excited. So let's get to it, man. Thanks. Ooh. This is gonna take a while. Okay, this is the Firman Tri-Fuel 12,000 watt portable generator. That is based on running in gasoline, and I'm actually going to be running natural gas. And this was the biggest generator that I could find that runs natural gas. And you can see it's rated for 12,500 startup and then 10,000 running watts on natural gas. And that is the reason that I actually got this, but you can run it on gasoline as well as propane. I'll probably be testing it with propane. The also thing I liked about it was the total harmonic distortion is less than 5%. So with this generator, supposedly, you don't have to worry about the sensitive electronic devices that you'll plug in when the generator is running. So things like laptops, your cell phones, you know, any type of televisions, your electronical sensories related to your refrigerators and your smart washing machine and dryers and all that stuff. But anyway, this is it. So we're excited, and damn, it's a nice sheet of plywood. Okay, first impressions. This thing is huge. It's got the V-twin engine in it, so it's not your normal vertical like or horizontal lawnmower engine, but it is extremely big. I closed the garage door so it wouldn't interfere with the sunlight. Kept kind of giving me some weird glare on the camera, so. All right, so let's break out the other things and let's start putting this thing together. Okay, so this is what was in the box. You get your quick start guides, you get your main axle, 2 wheels. It also comes with the oil, which is cool, so thanks for doing that. A funnel, it's a little bent, got, I guess, damaged in shipment or smushed in shipment. You got your main support handle when you transport it, your 2 legs. We've got our DC charging port. We've got our internal battery port as well. It comes with your LP quick connect, a couple of quick pins, nuts, bolts, more hardware for your wheels to install, your owner's manual, and then you got your spark plug wrench, and it looks like 2 metric. This is probably a help with assembly. On one end it's 12, the other end it's 10. You get 2 of them. All right, let's go try to assemble this beast. All right, so I think that's gonna work. That thing is heavy, boys. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's start putting on the wheels and the front stands. So we're gonna go ahead and put the axle on for the legs. Since it's tipped up, I went ahead and took the battery out so that the battery wouldn't be tipped over. So I removed the battery while I'm actually installing the wheels. And from here, we're just gonna use the shorter bolts and nuts and attach it. Make sure the axle goes on the engine side because the handles go on the other side. All right, next, we'll just throw the wheels on real quick. Okay, next go the front support legs, which lap over and then attach. So those coming up next. And the bolts we'll use are the longer bolts with the nuts on the end. All right, I went ahead and stood it back up. Haven't put the battery back in yet, but we're gonna go ahead and attach the handles, and then I'll reattach the batteries. Don't forget when you're putting the handles on to put your quick pins in there so that you can lock the handle as well. But we'll start that right now. All right, one of the last things to do is to just hook up the battery. And so it comes with your battery terminals. These are the ones I told you guys to take out at the beginning. And I also put the battery back in. I took it out when I flipped it up in order to put the feet and the legs on it. And so we're just gonna go ahead and use it. It doesn't come with the wrench, but it's an 8mm. And I don't know if I can do this one-handed. So hopefully you guys can visualize putting a nut on. But we'll get the battery hooked up. Yeah. What you need, babe? I can cut it off.
I've got Passman grades.
Okay.
His conduct grade out of 4 grades, 4.
All right, so I've got oil in it, everything's hooked up. I've got the propane tank ready to go. And I actually brought down my portable AC to draw down some power on it. I need the adapter plug to actually try the jointer, so I'm not gonna be able to do that right now. But I figured I'd fire it up first time, see how it runs, and then test the load with my portable AC, just to see how it works when it draws down on a load. So we're about to start that process right now, and we'll get the propane hooked up. So that's the eco mode. All right, so right now, for the most part, everything appears to be working on its first run. I did put a load on it. All of the ground fault indicators seem to be working correctly. So, you know, on the panel itself, you get a 50 amp, 120 volt. This is the 1450R plug. This is the big one that will plug into the disconnect. When we go to do the whole house, I've got a 30 amp. This is the L1430R. And then you've got 2 of the L530Rs. Those are 30 amp, 120 volts. And then you have your regular household plugs here. and this is only 120 volt. These are not 240 volts. Down here you have your eco mode, so when there's not a load on the actual generator itself, this idles the engine down. It's actually quiets it a little bit, so it's really nice. Your main breakers, this is your volts, your hertz, and your hours. This is your DC plug to charge a car battery. This is for your trickle charger to plug in, and then you've got all of your resets for your fuses. Then down here is the connect for my LP and my gas. This is the switch where you switch it from LP to natural gas. You can run it that way. So overall, pretty nice. All right, guys, we just finished the test run, and first impressions out of the box, I really have no complaints. I have not been able to test it on gasoline or natural gas, so I can't speak to those things, but really no problems at all. Parts aligned, every part that was supposed to be in the box came in the box. So again, I think I can't say anything bad about it at this moment. I think the real test will be when we move into the next phase of the project and we actually install it as part of our whole house generation system. So looking forward to that project as well. The hardest thing I think was probably putting the wheels and the legs on it. I had to stand it up on its back, took the battery out to do that, but other than that, one person job, more than able to take care of that. If you're a little bit older, you might want to get some help putting the legs and the wheels on it because it can get pretty heavy. So thumbs up, at least for right now. I'll keep you guys in the loop as we continue with the project. And I would like to ask, if you got anything out of this video, please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel. We're new and I want to continue to bring content like this. So please hit that like button, hit that sub button, leave a comment if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer any of those, and we will see you guys on the next video. Thanks.